Yo, 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 what's good, family? What's good with you guys, man? Oh, man, what's good? What's going on with y'all, man? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, y'all. How everybody doing, man? Everybody good? What's up? Everybody good on this wonderful, bright Monday morning? Weather a little crazy outside. We had some nice spring weather, but now it's cold out there. Wind blowing, roofs done got knocked over, man. Last night that storm was coming through, man. That shit sounded like a freight train, man. God damn, house shaking. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. I didn't really see no news reports of any deaths, anything like that. So maybe everything worked out for everybody. But yo, it's March 29th, 2021. We at the 11:40 a.m. hour on the East Coast. It's your man AC. I'm here. What's good with y'all? Everybody good? Everybody chilling? Want to give a big shout out to everybody that's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That's checking in today. We got my man Tim Harvey. We got my man Triple OG. You know what I'm saying? And all the people that's in the clouds. Please hit the like and subscribe button for me if you don't mind. And share the video if you don't mind. It's your man AC Star. And I'm here. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Let me just get this camera adjusted a little bit. I'm sorry, folks, for the little technical difficulties. Let me just get that fixed a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I like to have my face in this place. So, yo, what's good, y'all? What's good? Miss Monday, man. What's good, everybody? Peace. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? So, yo, man, it's Monday, man. We got a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on with the babies, man. We got a lot going on with the babies. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on in the water. I don't know what's going on in the world. But yo, if you read the title of the stream, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, how black kids are just going through it, man. Not only with the educational system, but the justice system. I've been reading some very troubling stories lately, like just really troubling stories. Um, and it's crazy because I want to kind of make my platform diverse. I want to make people laugh. I want to educate people. I want to inform people, right? I don't want everything to be like melancholy and dramatic and things of that nature. So, as I work to make my show better, I'll try to add those things in it. But I want to highlight, stories like the ones I'm going to highlight today because it's really important to address these things. And I mean, I'm not looking for a rationale to why they're happening because I kind of already know why they're happening, right? Like it's not like a secret to why they're happening, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's troubling that adults and people, I mean, we already know in America what it's like and the certain things that we go through, right? What's going on, Penny Sparks? Peace, sis. Welcome to the show, baby. Welcome to the show, big sis. Welcome to the show. So for me, it's really important to highlight this because as a father, as a grandparent, I love my kids. I love my family, right? And I know kids aren't always Miss FedEx. Peace, sis. What's going on? Good morning to you, sis. Good morning to you. And I know it's not always raising kids is not always optimal thing, right? Whether you're a single mother, whether you have two parents, even with two parents, it can be difficult in raising kids. There's no optimal situation in how you raise kids, right? You have, you just put your best effort forward. You try to learn, you try to educate yourself on parenting skills. You try to, protect your kids best you can. You try to minimize your daily life. You try to minimize the impact that it has on their lives, and you try to make your life better so that their life can be better. But what I'm noticing is it's like black people, it's like the world doesn't see how black people are treated. And the stories today will show you just how like obscene are some of the treatment of us can be, especially our children, right? Like every week I've been doing a story about how some child, whether a teenager, whether adolescent, whether a young adult, right, has been mistreated or been in a predicament where the person that's offering them or teaching them a particular skill or a particular occupation or a particular curriculum sees them as nothing, sees them as less than human, sees their value as non-valuable, right? And feel as though their issues or their inability to adjust to particular curriculums or particular environments is somehow seen as a fault, of theirs, or something that should be critiqued racially, right? That's what we're seeing. And the stories that I have for you today is along those veins, right? And it's not, and when I did the stories before, it was in the South. Now I have stories that's in the North, or what we would consider more northern than what we previously talked about in Louisiana or Texas or Georgia, right? Or Oklahoma, right? So now I'm finding stories in my home state of New Jersey, which I already knew was racist. Like I've never been under any impression that the state of New Jersey is not racist. Throughout North, South, Central, East, West, right? It's crazy because it's very, very racist in up in the north, like in the mountains, Sussex County, Warren County, with Phillipsburg and all those places. And then as you come south, when you get past like a Trenton, you go to like a Bordentown, a Burlington, a Willingboro, which well, not so much Willingboro because that's more of a black enclave. But when you get out down the Pine Barrens and things of that nature, for those of who are familiar with New Jersey, very racist down there. They call it Alabama. It's so racist that they call that part of New Jersey Alabama, literally, right? Because it's nothing but sticks, nothing but hicks. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Even the black people kind of act a little weird and misfitish. You know what I'm saying? But yo, so let me just jump right into it, man. Let me just go ahead and jump right into it. The first story I want to talk about, this disturbed me. And this disturbed me on so many levels, right? Because the perpetrators in this particular story are two black police officers. This story happened to take place in Montgomery County, Maryland, which, if anybody's familiar with, is a pretty, successful black community. It has Silver Springs, few other communities in Maryland where, you have black people. It's a high black population, right? So the police department is kind of reflective of the community, where you may not have that in other cities. But in certain Maryland counties, the city officials and the municipalities, they kind of reflect the demographics of the community. So in this particular case, this community was a black community, and it was black police officers that came to the scene. So let me give you a back little story. This is in Montgomery County, Maryland. And this is a 5-year-old kid who was having a bad day at school, right? He was having a real bad day at school. And things just got escalated. And, if you ever had a 5-year-old, if you're a parent, they could be rambunctious sometimes. They could be different, right? They could be different. You know what I'm saying? But this situation was just way too much, right? Just too much. Just too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and I'm gonna start this story. I'm gonna start this story for y'all so y'all could better understand it. Now, this is a 5-year-old boy in Maryland, and I need y'all to pay attention to the two law enforcement officials that came on the scene to deal with this particular story. Now, let me read a little backstory for y'all. Okay, a police department in Maryland has released body camera video that captured two of its officers berating a 5-year-old boy who had walked away from his elementary school, calling him a little beast and threatening him with a beating, right? The video released Friday by the Montgomery County Police Department shows that one of the officers repeatedly screaming at the child with her face inches from his. "Oh my God, I beat him so bad," the officer said in the child's presence before telling him, you do not embarrass me like this at school." The boy's mother has filed a lawsuit over the January 2020 interaction. The lawyers for the child's mother, Shantae Grant, said the video shows the officers treating her son as if he were a hardened criminal. They said Grant is seeking justice and fair compensation for the trauma she endured. And she also hopes that the incident will lead to changes in policing and training, both with the school and the police. The attorneys Matthew Bennett and James Parameister said in a statement. The Washington Post reports that the police department and the county public school declined to address the incident in detail, citing the mother's pending lawsuit, but the school system issued a statement describing the video as extremely difficult to watch. It's very difficult to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Very difficult. When I watched it, when I see stories like this, it bothers me so bad because it's just a continuing narrative that black lives are like the world sees us as a perpetual child. All of us, right? No, the world sees none of, even your white friends, your Mexican friends, your Chinese friends. I don't give a fuck. In the back of their subconscious is a fucking notion that my black friend is not the same as me, not as valuable in this world as I am. They know it and they display it, right? So this story bothered me because, well, I'm gonna just play it. and then I'll let y'all will figure out why I disturb me. Here we go. Let me start. I'm gonna try to start it from the beginning. Here we go. Oh man, I hate these fucking commercials, man. Jesus. Yo, they try to sell you everything. It's like, God damn, everything is a commercial. Like, you can't get to no topics. Everything is a commercial. I swear to God, when I get rich, I'm gonna just come up with a way where I'm gonna just figure out, if I don't want to watch a fucking commercial, I don't want to watch that shit. Like, oh my God, that shit is so nerve-wracking. Like, Jesus Christ. They want to sell you everything. Ball clippers, fucking, who wears Gap? Nobody don't wear that shit. Get that bullshit out of here. Here we go. Listen to how this stupid motherfucker is talking about this kid. This is the language that you hear the black men on the manosphere talk like. This is the language that you hear that created the black manosphere. This is the language that Tommy Sotomayor put out in the ether. Y'all can't hear it? Oh, man, hold on. All right, let me play it again. I'm just... All right, folks. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play it again. Sorry about that. I had to I didn't have the sound. I didn't have the audio. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but I'm gonna mute this commercial real quick, and then hopefully we can get everything going real quick. But yeah, the shit is troubling. When you see it and you hear it, it's troubling. And a lot of this language is what we hear in this space from a lot of people. So I mean, it's really disturbing what these two. Oh man, I'm gonna just go ahead and let it play, and then we'll have a discussion after that. Let me just get past this commercial. Sorry about the inconvenience, but they want to sell you every fucking thing. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Here we go. Listen to me. How old are you? How old are you? Can y'all hear now? Let me get a one if you can hear. 5. Let me get a one if you can hear. You feel like you can make your own decisions? Huh? You feel like you can do what you want? Are you an adult? Are you 18? So why are you outside of school? Look at me. Why are you out of school? Why do you have people following you? Huh? I don't care if you don't want to go to school. You do not have that choice. You understand? Oh, my life if I tried to do some stuff like that. I would have been beat 9 times before I got home. Don't nobody want to hear that. Ain't nobody even listening. You know why? Because you don't get to do what you want to do. This ain't your world. No! What I'm going to do is we're going to have you. Know what? Sit down. 2008 Cadillac. Sit down. Shut that noise up. Shut that noise up now. Oh, my mama, let me be. I'm going to wait out. You better stop trying to get off this seat. Stop it. Stop it. Holiday, can you watch them real quick?
hold on 1 second.
Yo, can y'all believe that shit, yo? Can y'all believe that shit? Can y'all believe that shit? Can y'all believe how those two trained officers treated a baby that looked just like them? A baby that looked just like them, but because even them in their police position, this is how they see black kids, right? The female cop, she was itching to beat him. This ugly bitch was itching to beat him, right? Good morning, sweet pea. What's up, homie? Think about that, y'all. That's a 5-year-old baby. And she said, I hope your mom let me beat you. Did you hear how the cop, instead of the cop saying, hey, little brother, like, come on, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. Explain to me why you having a bad day. How can I help your day get better? What's up, little man? Talk to me. But because they see him as a criminal too, look at the energy that they mustered up for a 5-year-old baby. Look at the energy them two black people mustered up for one of their own. For a 5, that shit incenses me. I'm so angry right now because there's nothing we can do. Look at the energy they summons for a 5-year-old child. And the crazy part about it is, the problem is, this is what white people do. The white administrators called the police on this 5-year-old child. See, I'm trying to figure out, are these people trained to like, it seems like nobody in the position of dealing with the public is trained to de-escalate or learn how to communicate in trouble situations. Lamar Ellis, what's up, bro? Thanks for the subscribe, bro. Welcome to the show, my brother. I mean, think about that. Like, they came in like he robbed the school, like he hit a teacher. He just had a bad day. And as a 5-year-old, what rationale does he have to understand what is going on? Oh man, oh man. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. I mean, let's think about this. Let's think about this. These are two trained police officers. Trained police officers. Right? Trained police officers. And instead of them coming to the situation and making the situation work better, they made it worse. They made the situation worse because they came in and they berated a 5-year-old kid. And they did it because they wanted to show the white kids, the white teachers and the white administrators, like, yeah, we gonna handle this. I mean, did you hear how he was like, I don't want to hear that? Like, talking to the child like he was his child. He wasn't talking to the kid he was talking to the kid like the kid was an animal. Like, I wonder if that man watched that video, how he felt. Because let me let y'all know something. If that was my child and those two cops did that to him, Arthur Clarke would be in prison because I would have beat the brakes off of both of them. I would have waited till they got off duty and I would have knocked both of them the fuck out. Both of them. Because, see, that's what has to happen. I'm not advocating violence, but what I'm saying is this. Shit like that can't happen. Shit like that can't. Money, monitor, and that's the problem. Because every time shit like this happens, the first thing people want to do is start litigating and suing and all that shit. Fuck all that shit. No amount of money will ever change the action of what that man did. And the problem is, it's the white people that does this. The white people's whole control mechanism is the police department. The first thing white people do when they have a conflict with black people is threaten to call the cops on you because white people inherently know the police department is there to come and put black people in their fucking place. When white people can't do it themselves, they call the police department to put black men, women, and children in fucking place, in their place. And black cops are more than willing to come and do it because that's why the majority of them joined the fucking police force, because they have a problem with the skin that they're in and the black people who inhabit the skin as well. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. 5-year-old child. Now that ain't, y'all think y'all saw something. This really gonna bother y'all. Y'all watch the further situation. Like, it's crazy. I'm gonna play another video for y'all that gives a little more in detail and shows y'all some more of the shit that happens, right? Now think about this, y'all. This is the part that those are black people. That sister got in that little boy's face like he was a man, like she was talking to her own child. And because this is why our youth are the way they are, because they don't get no respect from no fucking body. This is how everybody treats them. This is not a one-off. This is not an anomaly. This is how everybody, it's millions and thousands of videos throughout the fucking internet, throughout the World Wide Web, where you can see black kids being thrown down, smacked, punched, beat up by black and white adults throughout the fucking world. This could never happen to a white child. Only blacks. Now we got this uprising about the Asians, and pay attention to the Asians and Kevin Samuels and Derek Jackson and all this, while our fucking kids are fucking being treated like hardened criminals at 5 years old. That boy don't even know how to go to the fucking bathroom correctly, but you're asking him, do he think he's an adult? He know he ain't no fucking adult. But it's something going on inside that he can't control. It's something going on that's making him uneasy. Why don't you find out what the fuck that is? That's crazy to me. Let me play this other shit for y'all. That's just probably going to cinch y'all even more, but I gotta play it. Wait till y'all see this bullshit. I mean, this is a continuance of what I just showed y'all, but Jesus. Here we go.
Newly released body camera video showing a disturbing encounter between Maryland police and a 5-year-old boy they put in handcuffs. Kathy Park reports.
Don't make me take you over.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
Okay.
Tonight, growing outrage in Maryland over this newly released body camera footage.
Cut it now.
2 Montgomery County police officers responded to a call to bring back a 5-year-old student who left school after he allegedly broke a computer.
Get in. Now. I'm not asking. Get in the car. I don't want to hear it.
After the officers bring him back, the situation quickly escalated. Police blurred the identity of the child. Meanwhile, the yelling and berating is all caught on camera.
I mean, how do you learn that type of behavior at 5?
That's why people need to beat their kids.
Sit down.
When the boy doesn't stop crying, one officer screams.
Show that white lady's face. Don't cover her face, because that's the bitch who started it. Don't cover her face.
Police
show her face.
Their hour-long video Friday. Near the end of the footage, with his mom in the same room, an officer places handcuffs
then this
on
goofball
the
bitch gonna let her put handcuffs on her son like some scared straight shit.
Huh? You know what these are for? These are for people that don't want to listen and don't know how to act.
The incident took place January of last year. After an internal investigation, Montgomery County Police said both officers remain on the job. The boy's mother has since filed a lawsuit seeking justice and compensation for his trauma. In a statement, the school district wrote in part, "Our heart aches for this student. There is no excuse for adults to ever speak to or threaten a child in this way." Councilmember Will Jawando pushed to get the video released and demands a full investigation.
You shouldn't treat a human being the way this young boy was treated. It doesn't matter if he's 5 years old or 50 years old. No one should have been talked to in that manner.
And ultimately, what do you want to see happen to those 2 officers?
They should be fired.
Kathy Park, NBC News.
Can y'all believe that shit, man? Can y'all believe that shit, man? That shit is so sad, man. That shit is so sad. Like, that shit is amazingly sad to me. Like, you sat there and let them put the fucking handcuffs on the little boy as a means of scaring him, and now you want to cry wolf. I guess when the videotape came out of how fucking bad they treated your kid, now it's like, oh shit, right? Like if it wasn't for that Congress, if it wasn't for that councilman, right? And it's crazy, right? Because I want to move down there, y'all. Like that's all I talk about. I'm trying to figure out how to. I love that area. It's something about it. Now I'm like, man, I would never go down there. I will never go there. Never. I will never, ever, ever put my kid or myself in that position. If I know that's the kind of law enforcement and school system they have, shit, I might as well stay where I'm at. I mean, think about that. I mean, these two cops felt empowered, like really empowered and thought that they were doing the right thing. Like neither one of them had the critical thinking skills or even the education. See, that's why I think in order to be a police officer, you have to go to college. You have to, and not to say that that's gonna, what's good, Joe Dub? Thanks for coming through, big bro. Not to say that that's gonna somehow mitigate them from making bonehead decisions like they just did, but it'll just lessen the chances, right? A little bit of critical thinking classes, a little bit of more objective thinking, right? Less policing and just being more educated and more well-rounded. And if this is your job, then you bring in some of your professional attributes and educational attributes to make you a better police officer. Because you can't have that. Like we can't have that because now that just gave a sign to a whole bunch of other people like, oh, now they people doing it, we could do it too. She probably ain't single. She probably married to a motherfucker who an asshole just like her. And I wouldn't be surprised if the black cop is married to a white woman. Because when you hear their diction, you hear how they talk, right? And then the mom come there and she give them all that responsibility over her child and plays this game with them. Right? Like, mom, you need to get your child professional help if he's having outbursts like this. You need to put him in an environment where people know what the fuck they doing and they can solicit the questions and the answers that y'all need to get to the bottom of what's troubling your baby. But what happens is most black moms don't want to deal with the shame or don't want to deal with the responsibility of what they did or what's going on in the crib that's created this little boy's issues. So because she don't want to face her thing, she going to subcontract it out to somebody else. Because she hasn't went and done the research or figured out how to be a better mother to her child. She's just going to allow for the school system and the justice system to do it for them. See, that's what's wrong, black people. See, we got to be honest. A lot of us send our kids to public school because we don't want to fucking educate them. Right? We don't want to fucking educate them. So we send them to school every day. They be in the school building every day. Like I heard something amazing the other day, right? The public school system was built to create factory workers. So now that the age of factory workers is dying out and human beings are evolving and now technology and other means of production and modes of production are becoming relevant in our society, now the whole idea of creating an industrial workforce is no longer relevant. So now what do you do with the educational system? Now what do you do with that whole model of sitting people down for 9 hours to just focus on one thing, to train them and indoctrinate them into an industrial world? What do you do now? Peace, Taya. What do you do now? Like think about that. Like I mean, they put handcuffs on a baby. He thought by putting handcuffs on a little boy, like they think all black people need to be scared straight. Like we need to be scared straight. Right? It's like we need to be scared straight into everything. I agree, Psycho. I agree wholeheartedly, Psycho. I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. A lot of mothers don't know what the fuck to do with their sons. And if she's having this much trouble now, it's not gonna get easier. It's not. But I don't necessarily think she's having trouble with him. I think what happens is, and it goes back to it, we're seeing so many instances where white teachers really have disdain for black kids, right? Really have disdain for them, right? So the white teacher that they shielded her face, they won't show you her, but she set all this in motion. What a little boy's actions did, right? But for this lady to be an administrator and not have the ability to call the child's parents. You can't run after a little 5-year-old kid. See, because they want them punished. They called the cops because they wanted the child punished. If I can't control you, I'm going to get the police force that was created to control you black motherfuckers. I got a trick for you. And black police officers are more than willing to fill in the fucking void. And that's the problem. White, terrible teachers and administrators and school systems on one hand, terrible justice systems and willing black police officers, lawyers, prosecutors, judges, social workers on the other end that's willing to throw black people in the middle of the goddamn fire and watch us burn. How many times have we seen these stories where white cops or white administrators call the police on young black babies, 5-year-old, 5 years old. My son is 9 years old, right? I go through with my son every day about all kind of shit. And I understand that I got to give him room to breathe and grow. He's not going to get it all. He's not like, I'm an older parent, so I got to like yield back and be like, listen, okay, he's 9. Let me let him have that. He knows when I'm serious. He knows when I'm bullshit. So that's how we play down. So he know when daddy on his real shit. Okay, daddy ain't playing with me now. Let me go ahead and do what the hell he asking me to do. All right, he bullshit. I'm gonna take a couple minutes to do it because he bullshit. He ain't really serious about it, but you know he'll let me know if he is serious. So that's the relationship we got. And I know my son had issues. So the issues that my son had, we try to work very hard to deal with them. But situations like this, it seems like we're not getting it. It's like we're not getting that the whole system is set up, right, to make sure we adhere to every institution the way they want us to. Now, I'm going to move on to another story with children, because all I'm doing today, I'm talking about young black kids and how they're caught up in society, whether it's the educational system, the justice system, or the entertainment industry. Because I'm definitely going to chime in on the Little Nas X thing a little later. But the next story I want to talk about is about another child, a 6-year-old. And this story, if you think that bothered you, wait till you get a load of this one. Okay, so let's have this story. 6-year-old boy in North Carolina arrested and sent to court for picking a tulip. Anybody heard that story? Anybody familiar with that story? Hey, y'all, can y'all hit the like button for me, y'all, the share button, please, if y'all can, so we can get the people in the building so the numbers can build up a little bit. Your boy would greatly appreciate that. So now we got this story in North Carolina where a 6-year-old boy has been arrested and given a court summons to appear in court for picking a tulip. The long arm of justice has once again involved itself in a situation that doesn't make sense and seems to waste time in the court system. This is i.e. Black Enterprise. According to the Winston-Salem Journal, earlier this month in North Carolina, a 6-year-old boy was arrested and had to appear in court after he was accused of picking a tulip from a yard as he waited at a bus stop. The child had to appear in front of a juvenile court judge to face a charge of injury to real property. The case was dismissed. Because of this incident, advocates are trying to get the law changed to raise. Now, check this bullshit out. The advocates are trying to get the law changed to raise the minimum age at which a child can be charged and arrested. It's recommending the age is 12, while the National Juvenile Network is recommending that it's 14. Should children who believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy be making significant life choices? The answer is no. So a child is being prosecuted for picking a fucking flower. Now, if that child was white, salute, Taz, what's good, G? Peace, my brother. If that child was white, do y'all think that anything would have happened? He was standing at a bus stop. He reached down. He picked up a tulip from somebody's yard, and the white lady called the cops on him. And then the cops came and charged him with a crime for picking a tulip. Think about that. Got charged for picking a flower. How many tulips have y'all picked in your lives? How many times? Remember how many? What if we went to jail for every time we picked up those things? Remember when we was little and we used to blow the wish on a thing, or before it turned into the wish thing, we used to take it and rub it under our chin? Remember we used to rub the butter because you used to put the yellow shit, you know what I'm saying? Or if you was down south, for those of us who went down south and hung out with our families and shit, or you was from up north and you went down south, how many of us just naturally picked the flowers and picked the environment that we didn't see? How many of us did that? How many of us, did that naturally, right? Naturally. I mean, it's amazing to me that these people who call themselves lawyers, smart adults, don't even see how racist this shit is. Don't even see how terrible they look as human beings. But because they're so racist and because they know the world don't give a fuck when you treat us like shit, right? They get away with it. Right? I mean, and when it went to court, the judge was shocked. Right? Shocked. And this is the crazy thing. Now, when a cop picks up a white boy, he takes him to his parents. But if he's black, he take him to the state. Because that's what they do. See, the police department was slave catchers. Peace, Mo. Mr. Rudd, thanks, fellas, for coming through. Hit that like button if you can, my brothers. But think about that. If that was a 12-year-old or 6-year-old white boy, they would have took him home to his parents. Or they would have been like, hey, don't do that. Don't pick those flowers. Or how many did you pick? They would have turned it into a bonding moment with that white child. When black children do something, they take them to the state because they want the state to punish them. Fellas, ladies and gentlemen, so white society, American society, Quasi, peace, my brother. We had a great show on Red's channel last night. That shit was the bomb. Real talk. What we're seeing is, and what's coming to fruition is for all of those people who say, oh, the police department is there to protect and serve. Oh, it ain't no institute. I wish RBR was here. I wish he was here so he can see what institutional racism looks like. And all these stories that I'm doing, these are institutions that are subjecting 5- and 6-year-old black kids to racism, scarring them, letting them know who in charge early. We on your heels early, young man. I mean, who was the cop who wrote that ticket up? Who was the cop who pulled over and said, I'm about to charge this 6-year-old for picking a flower? It goes all the way back to the killing of Tamir Rice, doing something that every other child of every other race gets to do freely. Pick flowers, play with toy guns, play in the park, walk from their dad's house. Our kids don't get to do shit. We treat them like shit. They treat them like shit. You know, in the hood, man, I used to hate going into a store and see like a young kid in the store and he's asking for something and it's the first of the money and he just got a couple dollars and he's excited and he's trying to figure out something and the fucking Chinese or Arab or Spanish motherfucker is hurrying him up. What you gonna do? Her talking, and I will correct their ass quick. Don't fucking talk to him like that. Don't talk to the babies like that, or you're gonna have a fucking problem with me. Anybody can verify that I do that. I don't play that shit when it comes to talking to kids fucked up. I told y'all the story about the little 2 boys in Queens that was harassing the kids, harassing the people. I walked up to them young brothers and was like, yo, man, here go $20, man. Y'all go have a good day, man. We ain't doing this. This is what they want us to do. And the woman I was with was like, damn, why you do that? What you mean? What you mean I'm supposed to let him fuck up, go to jail, like every other black person would have let him do? See, what I got to figure out is my life is with kids, man. I'm mad I fucked up and sold drugs and did all that dumb shit because I should have been a teacher in the school teaching them babies and protecting them babies. And creating an environment and a network where black men who are teachers, we build a pact that we're not going to let white teachers and white cops and white administrators mistreat our fucking babies. I should have been a teacher and I fucked up. But thank God to this motherfucking new law in my state, I might get a chance to double back and do that shit. Because I already got my bachelor's degree, so I ain't got to worry about all that certification shit. I'll start as a substitute if I have to. Cause black men, we gotta go in these schools, man, and we can't go in just as mentors. We gotta go in as teachers. Like we gotta do something, because this is fucking ridiculous now, man. Like they locking our babies up for just existing. A 6-year-old child going to court for picking a fucking tulip, and the fact that it was even a headline that somebody even did that tells you all you need to know. I mean, it's to the point now where how we going to ignore it? How we going to act like it's not normal, right? They're making this shit normal. They're making putting handcuffs on 5 and 6-year-olds normal. They're making charging black kids with fucking petty ass crimes and stupid ass crimes normal. They're calling police on 5-year-olds so that the cops can come and intimidate the 5-year-old black child that they see as a 5-year-old man. That black cop seen that 5-year-old boy as an 18-year-old. He thought he was talking to an 18-year-old boy who was giving him a hard time. Salute to you for that, Quasi. Indeed so, my brother. I'm trying. I mean, nobody in there thought that was awkward. But know why? Because black people, we don't value our babies. We don't value our children. For the most part. That's why, and you know, a disturbing thing. I was on TikTok because my cousin just joined TikTok, and she'd be like, "Check my videos, check them out." Blah, blah, blah. So I'm screaming through the TikTok. So shit was funny. So I was like, "Oh, your shit funny." She do some more shit and all that shit. So the shit was funny when you watch a person you grew up with and they went through some shit, and then they use TikTok to overcome a lot of shit, and you see them smile again and shit. So the shit was fun. I was dope. So I'm scrolling through her shit. So then I started coming across this drill shit with the drill rappers and all the rappers that's killing themselves in Jacksonville and Chicago. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And it's because the white music execs pay these young boys to do this dumb shit. They're putting the battery in the back. If you're a white record label or you're any kind of distributor and you're distributing music where young black men are talking about killing their ops, and every video they make is killing their ops, and then their ops is dead, then your rapper is dead, King Von is dead, Quando Ron, I don't even know any of these guys. I have no idea and when I click their music is mega trash, right? Mega trash. I don't know what A&R, what music company would find any of this music good music. Terrible fucking music. It's pretty funny. I mean, it is what it is. Like I've run my course of it now. Like I could check it out, but I've run my course of it now. Like I'll check it out every once in a while now because I'm kind of disturbed by a lot of the shit that I see on there. But it kind of plays into it because the mumble rappers create this killing mentality, this killing environment, and it's like they're taking our kids out, whether they're taking them out physically, they're taking them out mentally, or they're taking them out spiritually, right? They're just taking our kids out. They're making them shell of a humans because they're trying to survive. See, the racism is not personal. It's if I can get rid of your clan and I don't got to put up with y'all and I don't got to be your teachers and I don't got to police y'all and I could break your spirit and you won't never come back, I'm willing to do that. And that's what they're doing. All the incidents that we've seen are incidents that's just typically saying we don't want you here. The Georgetown law professor with her shit was we don't want you here. The 5-year-old is we don't want you here, baby. We're not gonna figure out what's wrong with you. We don't want you here. We don't have time to care for you. We don't have time to show you compassion. We don't have time to figure out why this 4-year-old may just needed some love, some cookies and milk, right? We don't have time to invest in you, 5-year-old. Yeah, we don't want you. I don't want you standing next to the bus stop. When you stand next to this bus stop, you stand still. You don't move. You don't look this way. You don't look that way. You don't touch this lady's flowers. You stand there obedient and wait for that damn bus. Because I don't even want you standing in front of my house waiting for the bus. I wouldn't be surprised if that bus stop get moved in front of that person's house because of that little boy picking that flower. I wouldn't be surprised. So all these, the incident in Texas, right, where the little kids had the boy drinking piss, didn't want him there. The incident that I've read about the Haitian student in Long Island at this prep school where he got in trouble for being smart. He got in trouble for completing his assignment of, hey, I didn't tell you to be smart. That's what the teacher was saying. You didn't obey me. I didn't tell you to show off my white students. I didn't tell you to show off the other students that's not supposed to be smarter than you. I didn't tell you to go advance in front of them. So now now the headmaster had him get on his knees and bow and say, I'm sorry for some bullshit excuse about, well, that's what the African told me. Well, who the fuck said that this young man was African? And why that tradition should be his tradition because he's black? All right, well, me and my boys got a tradition of smacking white dudes. Stand in line so you're next. That's our tradition. So I'm about to smack the shit out you because of tradition. See how that worked, Mr. Headmaster? And it's all just they don't want you here. They don't want us in their environments, and then we're not, right? We're not diligent enough to see it and then start making adjustments to create environments that's just for us and be like, fuck y'all, we don't want y'all in it. See, because we want to integrate. We want to be a part of every community. We make some dollars. I want to move to that community where the nicest houses have and shit. So let's go into another story. Another story. This time, this is where me and Psycho live at. This is in New Jersey. This is where me and Psycho live at. Per Newsweek. Okay, so New Jersey classmates told black student to pick cotton in 75% white town, right? This is how they see us all over the country. This ain't just in the South. This is everywhere. Yeah, Sweet Pea, that would be a wonderful tradition, wouldn't it? That would be a grand tradition. I would love that tradition. I would be on that tradition like white on fucking rice. So look, check this out. Check this story out. Classmates of a black 7th grader in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. It had on here, it was Southwest Jersey, but I think Elmwood Park, Jersey is Bergen County. I'm pretty sure it's by Saddle River. I'm pretty sure. I'm very familiar with the area. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. They said Southwest. They were wrong. So, okay. One of the messages to the 12-year-old girl, pick my cotton. Jazz Furlan, the student's mother, told dailyvoice.com that she learned about the messages after her daughter begged not to return to her classes at Elmwood Park Middle School. So when the daughter was like, I don't want to return so if she wanted to be a doctor, lawyer, all that shit is now clouded by the experience that she just received at this class. She didn't want to go to school no more. She was done with it at 12. Like, I'm good. She's done with racism at 12. I'm good. Like, she's done at 12. Like, I don't know more, mommy. I'm good. I couldn't understand why. She's well-liked and intelligent, and it didn't make sense. Then her daughter showed her comments that other students had allegedly left on her TikTok video of her dancing with her friends. The comments included messages from TikTok users named Very Tasty Bleach, which said, Hispanic lives matter, Italian lives matter, Black lives do not matter. White lives matter, Trump 2020, pick my cotton, I need some more, and I'm a proud member of the KKK, right? This is a teenager. These are teenagers in Bergen County, New Jersey, saying that they're proud members of the KKK, Trump 2020. And why is that? Right? Yeah, Psycho, like she ain't been living up there and don't know what Bergen County is. Like she ain't never Come on, man. That's crazy to me. And no. This the kicker, y'all. Let me finish the story. This the kicker with this lady. This is the kicker. She wrote on an Instagram post sharing screenshots of the racist comments. Flair wrote that her daughter did not want to return to school over fear of continuing bullying. The mother claimed that the 3 male students were behind the comments. As of Friday, the contents of the accounts were either private or invisible to followers. Listen to this mother. Now, this is the mother's statement. As a parent, this brings me to tears because I have endured racism in the same school district. Let's read that again, folks. As a parent, this brings me to tears because I have endured racism in the same school district. But with social media, it is much different. I do not want my child to grow up with low self-esteem, self-image, or afraid to speak up because of situations like these. Of course, she's filed a complaint. I guess the lawsuit will come next, right? She's asking for the administrators to chastise the kids and make it a public spectacle or whatever. I don't know what she wants from them. To verbally reprimand the kids. I don't know. But this is crazy. Right? This is crazy to me. She said, because I went through the same thing in the same school district. So it goes back to my original point, right? My original point that I always emphasize. It's always about us wanting the best for our children, but then we don't think about what that best means. If the best means, yes, they will get a high quality education, but they will have to suffer mental cruelty and mental scrutiny and mental exhaustion based on the bullying, the racism, all the shit they went through. What's the point? The mother readily admitted herself, I went through the same thing in the school district. So wouldn't something in her brain click and say, yo, I ain't putting my kid in there because I know what I went through. But see, everybody's under this impression that the kids of this generation don't see color. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't know who created the narrative and I think it's a bunch of fucking black people who lived out in the suburbs who kids might have brought home a few non-black kids. I think they're the ones with that bullshit. Who created that narrative? Because what I'm seeing is, shit, it's more incidents of racism now than we see in a lifetime for some people. I mean, and what I'm trying to highlight here, ladies and gentlemen, is that these things are happening, right, in 2 institutions that black people rely on or have a fucking tumultuous relationship with. The education system and the justice system. And we're smashed in between it. See, those are the 2 pieces of bread, right? The 2 pieces of bread that makes up this fucking oppressive sandwich that we're in is the fucking education system and the motherfucking judicial and justice system. These 2 systems pushes us and squeezes us. It either presses us through the bread, squirts us out, or fucking just smashes us in. These are the 2 crushing forces that come together that just squeeze the fucking life out of us. Because we go to these fucking schools thinking that the school has our best interest in hand, and it's really an outdated system that was trying to create workers for the industrial complex that America was building. Then it was trying to create shoppers. People who would buy more than 1 pair of pants, 1 pair of shoes, right? So when trying to create a empire and trying to create a buying class, right? When you say there's more, to expound on that, but trying to create this hegemonic society based on industrial and imperial endeavors and empirical or empire or empirical endeavors and empirical, heights. They're trying to reach to be the elite empire. When you're doing things like that, you don't think about your second class citizens. You don't think about your former slaves. You're just thinking about the end goal, and that's just to be an empire. So all the crushing and breaking down of the population that you have to do to get there, then you're willing to do that. All the indoctrination, all the public school systems, all the systems you have to create that perfect, person. That's why I tell you, man, like they pulled it off with their for me, their best propaganda is the fucking Jetsons and the Flintstones, because they taught their people to deal with industrialization and technology. And they made sure that they had white faces and there was never no black people. They always told us they never wanted us to be a part of shit. The cartoons never included us. The shit that they used to promote family, all that shit didn't involve us. And now that we have to deal with the reality, like most of us already knew they don't want us nowhere around. That's what happened to me at physical therapy. That white lady didn't want me next to her. And when they don't want us around us, right? They'll call the cops. And then the cops will come and make sure that we're not around them. They don't want us around them, folks. And we keep going around them. We keep taking our babies around them, and we keep sending our babies to their schools. And then our babies come home abused and mentally exhausted and bullied and all that shit. And we don't know what to do. Like, I'm having an issue with a YouTuber right now. I'm not gonna bring his name up, right? But the issue is this dude brings white people into spaces, right? And then think that the rest of us is supposed to be cool with him because he cool with him. And then when we show him the fuck shit that the white people he bringing do, then he's like, oh, well, black people do it too. What the fuck are you talking about? See, we're caught in a situation where the idea of being black has become so overwhelming for a lot of people that they're willing to be anything but. You got your Israelites, you got your MGTOWs, you got your SBSYM, you got your Manosphere. Those brothers, I love Reg to death. I love my brothers to death. Right? But those brothers don't really, being black to them is an afterthought. They want to, you know what I mean? They're engaged in a thing of, I'm an American, right? You hear a lot of black people now saying I'm American. They don't want to affiliate themselves with their African roots. They don't want to affiliate themselves if they haven't, some want to be indigenous, right? They'll pick up everything but the black label. Good morning, Denini. How you been, my friend? Hope all is well. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Hope you and the kids are good. Hope your dad is good, your family and everything. You know what I'm saying? My man Warren, big shout out to him. Tell him I said what's up. And our kids shouldn't be put in a situation. We should protect our kids from these burdens. We shouldn't want them to be just as tough and elastic as us. We shouldn't want them to endure this. Like that lady wanted her child to endure it because she thought, well, I can help her. I can take her through it. You couldn't help her because you couldn't help yourself. See, to me, it's like the Stockholm Syndrome. It's like we're gonna force ourselves on them. I'm not gonna force myself on somebody that don't want me. I that was my new mantra in 2021. I ain't fucking with nobody that don't fuck with me. If you don't call me, I don't call you. If you don't text me, I don't text you. We got to stop going into that like that. We got to stop thinking, okay, you've been in the clouds working hard. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. We got to stop thinking that we can stay in environments and we can wear them down, right? We can wear them down because what we'll find is we're the ones that's actually wearing down, right? Like we're the ones that are losing, our energy, our thing, because you're trying to wear somebody down. You can't. If a motherfucker don't want to fuck with you, motherfucker don't want to fuck with you, and they don't want to fuck with us. Now I've just read 3 stories: 12, 5, 6. Right? 12, 5, 6. The judicial system, The educational system. And then do you know how much education you have to be to become a administrator, principal? Do you know how much fucking studying you have to do? Do you know what classes you have to take? The leadership classes and early child development. Do you know the classes if you're becoming a middle school, elementary school principal, you have to take child development classes. You have to take classes that will teach you how to deal with a developing adolescent or a developing human being, i.e. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, right? That's what your job is. Your job is to administrate the education and evolving of these young, impressionable minds that have been given to you to make better people. And when you come across a conflict with them or something that's not in your book, like I always used to tell somebody used to be on RBR's channel who always thought everything was in the book. So when you can't go into your book to reference a way to deal with this child, you call the police. When kids from your school make other kids drink piss, you say, well, I can't say nothing to them because it didn't happen on school grounds. But you allow for the people who did do it to come to school and continue to be that kind of individual, and you don't make an example of him or say, we will not allow those kind of people to be in this environment because we know what they bring to the table. Don't cancel him, but just make sure he knows, listen, until you get right and until your parents can prove to us that you're worthy of being here, we don't need you here. That's not hard. They do it to black kids every day. Y'all ever seen a story? I think I played that story. The story where the young boy, the teacher had said the dumb shit about slavery, and then the young boy corrected him, and then he threatened the young boy with detention and all that crazy shit, right? Because the young boy shouldn't challenge. How dare you challenge my authority? How dare you challenge my warped sense of what racism is? My warped sense of what the N-word means. How dare you as a black person tell me what that word that's injurious to you and your people, how dare you tell me what that is? How dare you not let me convince these white kids in here that it's okay to call you an N-word? How dare you? And that's where we're at. We just watched a black man cop and a black woman cop holler at a 5-year-old child that neither one of them produced, neither one of them fucked to make, neither one of them take care of. They was just called they was called because the people knew that the black cops would come and fucking do the job they couldn't do. A lot, Taz. Way more than we want to be honest about. Get along to get along. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Because you're basically telling them to eat themselves from the inside out. You're basically telling them to swallow the hate and swallow the anger and all the animus and just let it fester inside of them until it explodes one day. That's what you're telling them. You're not telling them to be honest with you and be honest and say, listen, I will not tolerate bullying, racism, none of that. Now, if it's some bullshit and you can handle it, handle it. But if it's coming consistently and it's coming from people and peers and it's groups of people and it's teachers and shit, address that shit. But my whole thing is, are we going to acknowledge that our babies are not properly cared for in this society, are not properly protected, and we're letting them kill each other? We're letting them do all kind of shit because we're allowing them to be a part of institutions and being educated and taken care of and in charge of by people who mean them no good. Now I'm gonna play another one for y'all. This is really crazy. This is really nuts. This one in California. So big shout out to Reg and all them people that's in LA, RBR, all y'all people. This for y'all. This from Palmdale, California. Hey, now this story, this is even crazier. This is even crazier. Now this is a story where a 12-year-old boy, right? He's from Palmdale, California. The mother of a 12-year-old student whose teacher went on a racist rant on Zoom against her and her son is now filing a lawsuit. Katura Stokes was on a Zoom call with her teacher from Desert Willow Fine Arts Science and Technology Management Academy in Palmdale, California when the call ended. Unbeknownst to the teacher, the mother was still listening when the teacher, Kimberly Newman, launched into a half-hour long despicable tirade about black families, saying the student was lying and that zeroing in on the mom. Since you've taught him to take and make excuses, then nothing is his fault. That is what black people do. Where do we hear that at, y'all? Where do we hear those same sentiments at? For those of you who are familiar with this black YouTube space, right? Where do we hear that kind of language at? Let's read it again. Let's check it out again. Let's read it again. Since you taught him to take and make excuses that nothing is his fault, this is what black people do. Where do we hear that at? We hear that over here every single fucking day. There are YouTubers who are rich off of this shit. Tommy Sotomayor is rich off of this shit. And when they do it, they don't realize you're sending it out into the atmosphere and it's being picked up by everybody. That is black YouTube. Finish the story. So the teacher has resigned and now been fired. So let me play the video for y'all real quick. Let me just play the little sound bite of the teacher. And now this is similar to the story that I played a couple weeks ago with the Georgetown the Georgetown law professor and her rant to her fellow professor. You know, the other her counterpart. So let's check this one out. God, of course, you know they're gonna play a fucking ad. Jesus Christ. You know, of course, they're gonna play a fucking ad. Jesus. These fucking ads are fucking crazy. Fucking crazy, man. Fucking ads everywhere. Ads. The ads is fucking nuts. Can't take the ads. Fucking ads are nuts. All right, here we go. Let me get it right. Here we go.
This is a no-show the whole year, right? She keeps calling the school and complaining, and the teachers are just pissed off beyond belief. It's because she thought I was her friend Natalie. When I called, because I've got a message from the office, Bob's calling, and she's screaming and yelling, nobody calls her back. I called her like 5 million times. I sent her 5 million friends, she never responds. She goes, I call her, right? And leave a message. She doesn't bother to check the message. She just thought the number was her friend Natalie. So she calls me back. My phone rings. I'm like, hello? She goes, hi, Natalie. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this isn't Natalie. This is... Oh. Yeah, she's caught. Because she's answered her phone for the first time the entire year. I mean, these parents, that's what kind of piece of they're black. He's black. They're black family.
I know it.
You know?
I'm seeing what you're not going through.
Yeah, that's what happened. There's no problem there. Your son has learned to lie to everybody and make excuses.
Are you
serious? Because you taught him to make excuses that nothing is his fault. This is what black people do. This is what black people do. White people do it too, but black people do it way more. Oh my god, I just burned her. I just burned her. Everybody is like thrilled all year. And it never would have happened had she not thought I was Natalie.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yo, can y'all believe that shit? Can y'all believe that shit? Can y'all believe that shit? And she was bold with it. So she's gonna tell her, well, I'm not racist. I bet you that's the first fucking thing that came out of her mouth. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Think about that. We send our kids to be educated by white women like this every fucking day. And all of them think like that. All of them. Don't think it's ones that don't think like that and they cool and all that bullshit. They all think like that. That shit was rolling off her tongue like nothing. I mean, I do believe it. Yeah, I do believe it too, Psycho. I do believe. I'm not like, you know what I mean? My thing is, this is my thing, right? Nobody, like her husband was with it. Like, like they love, and this is what I be trying to tell all these black people who think everybody is cool with them. This is what I be trying to tell them. Like, you don't know what these people say behind closed doors. You don't know who they are. Who they are in these social media is just a representative. They're all like that. They're all like that. And then they try to hide behind things and say, oh no, I was just asking you a common thing, or I was just saying white people. Like, she was like, white do it too, but blacks do it more. And she was like, she thought I was her friend. Like, just an evil, terrible human being that should not be teaching kids. That lady should not have nobody's kids as a responsibility to teach them. She's a bigot. And that's why I say, this is what I'm saying to y'all, right? The education system and the justice system is a white man's and Uncle Tom job program. Let me say that again. The education system, the justice system in the United States of America is a white job program. See, a mediocre, inadequate bitch like that who think she's somebody because she's a teacher feels as though she could talk the shit she was talking because she's a teacher. This is how they empower white women. They make them teachers. See, this is what the white race uses to undermine black men. And let me tell y'all something else. Do y'all know most schools that are built, most modern schools that are built in the urban are the same? They're built with the same architectural infrastructure as most modern prisons that are built. With the core center and then the wings. If you pay attention to any new school that's built in a black environment, look at that and go look at a new prison and watch the similar architecture. It's all an indoctrination. The lights, the hallways got the same echoey sounds, right? The first time I ever went to a new white high school that was built, that shit blew my mind because that shit was amazing. Open concepts, fucking the computer, the hallways, all that shit was dope. Oh man, I was like, God damn, this is a high school? Bordentown Regional High School. One of the racist places in fucking America. Their chief of police is in prison right now for slamming a black dude's head in a fucking door jam and then bragging about it and didn't realize the dude who filmed him, who recorded him, right, went through some shit with black people where he fucked up and almost lost everything, right? So he was like, nah, I ain't doing the racism shit no more. So he recorded this motherfucker and got him on camera saying all this dumb shit. But if you ever go to a prison, a new built prison, and you look at it, right, it's built similarly to urban schools that's being built because they're trying to get them prepared for their new environments. See, they wake up every day, right? They built the infrastructure where they could wake up every day, right, and have an assault on us every day. While we're worried about who Derek Jackson fucking, while we worried about some metrosexual dude who I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I've been listening to this Kevin Samuels dude just on TikTok because he's like heavy on TikTok. And I'm trying to figure out like, who the fuck listens to this shit? Like me, a person, I'm saying to myself, how can a square ass nigga from Oklahoma, right, who's just trying to, I mean, the nigga steal, a thief is a thief, right? So you're just gonna keep, like, you ain't gonna stop, right? Like, we're distracted by that while our babies are getting abused daily. Black parents are getting talked about on Zooms and shit, right? Like, these motherfuckers so sloppy that technology is putting them in such uncompromising positions. So because they're so flippant with it, they're so used to it that it's just so, it's like breathing. So when these recording instruments and all this technology catches them, they don't know what to do with themselves because that's how they've always been. Like, that's how they've always been. Like, I'm going to revisit a story. I don't know if y'all remember the story. It was a jazz musician and his son. They were staying in a hotel in Soho, right? I don't even think they have metal detectors, Mr. Rudd. I know all the black schools do, but I don't even think they have metal detectors. They might have that one main one that you walk through, but I know in the black schools, you got to empty your bag, put your shit in the thing, and then keep it going. I don't think the ones, I don't think they do. I've never seen one. And my 21-year-old, he went to a majority white school. And when we went to the office to register him, I remember there was no metal detectors. All right, because I remember that they had a resource officer, brother. He was pretty cool. You know what I mean? He knew my son. So he was like, hey, what's going on? That's your dad. Oh, man, nice to meet you. So they didn't have a metal detector, though. But it was a story that happened a couple months ago, maybe 6-7 months ago, maybe probably less than that. In New York, Soho, the fucking Spanish girl from California tackled the little boy saying that he stole her phone and shit, right? Now, the hotel manager was like, yo, show her the phone, blase Skippy, and let me get the phone. He called the cops, all kind of crazy shit. Yo, guess what the update of the story is? The fucking woman wasn't even a fucking patron of the hotel. She wasn't even staying at the hotel. She was walking down the street and seeing the young boy on his phone and just immediately made a B move for him because she dumbass lost her phone. So when she seen one black person, she's so fucking racist and probably been raised racist that she instantly thought the one black person she seen out of the 12 million motherfuckers in New York stole her phone. Y'all do know it's 12 million motherfuckers in the New York metropolitan area. It used to be 8 million stories. It's now 12 million stories. So this dingbat thought that there's one young black man walking down the street out of the 12 million motherfuckers in New York and the 1.5 million black people that live in the New York metropolitan area thought that he stole her phone, and the ignorant bitch left her phone in the Uber. So when she seen the young man, she tackled him, trying to get his phone that she said was her phone. And the white hotel manager believed her and not the black occupants that was staying at the hotel. And now it came out because the mom, Puerto Rican broad, she wasn't having it. See, the dad, he from the South, so he tried to, the mom wasn't having it. The Puerto Rican lady's press conference was off the chain. And see, she one of them dark skin. She was like light skin. She ain't like, she was like, yo, listen. You're not going to get away with what you did to my son. None of you. None of you. She named them all. The hotel manager, the cop, the lady. She named them all. You will not get away with what you did to my child. Seeing how she was like the management. This woman didn't even stay in a hotel, and you guys subjected my son to that bullshit. And that's the thing. They work together. Just like in my physical therapy. The head therapist was like, yeah, Art, turn that down, man. Now, wait a minute, bro. I'm in here every other day. This is how I get down. Put my phone next to me, do my exercises. I either listen to Reg, or I'm listening to Platt, or I'm listening to some old Taz, or I'm listening to some old Psycho, right? That's what I do, right? Because they get, I'm my arm hurting, so I just need somebody that I like to listen to. This white lady, from the time I sat down, she looking at me. She just keep looking at me. Just keep looking at her. Like, what is he doing here? And the minute I said that shit she did was racist. Oh, Arthur. Oh, she just asked you to turn your phone. So me and the guy discussed it. And I said, yo, my man, And after we discussed, he said, well, you know what? You're probably right. That probably was racism. But we don't want you in the clinic no more. I said, man, I didn't like your punk ass anyway. And when you come outside, it's going to get bad for you. Oh, call the cops. Call them. See, I'm one of them black people. Call them. Call them. I'm not running. Because, see, I can articulate my position, sir. You can't. You're just going to say some milly-mouth shit like, oh, well, we felt threatened. The same playbook. Felt threatened and reach for the waistband is their playbook. Reach for their weapon. They reach for the. Oh, he reached for his waistband. Oh, he's scared. Oh, he threatened me. Call him. I ain't been in trouble since 2007, 6, 5. I have been a model citizen. I have nothing to worry about. But they think when they say that word, call the police. You're only calling the police because you know when the police get here, my blackness is criminality. My blackness is criminal. Facts, Joe Dub. Now the cops are getting tired of that shit. Because they're starting to get dragged into it. And motherfuckers are starting to flip the camera out on them. And now they're starting to be considered and labeled racist. And if they want their racists to be covert, they don't need you overtly putting them in it. Yo, so hit the like and subscribe, man. I'm kind of on fire today, man. Like, this shit is bothering me, man, because I'm a father and an uncle and a grandfather of kids and young adults of all these ages. I got grandson that's 5. You do that to my grandbaby, you ain't got to worry about his dad or his mom, because I'm going to set it off. And you don't want my daughter to set it off. We want to keep her right where she at. We don't want her. No, we want to keep that bottled up. I do. My daughter, Jesus. In Jesus' name I pray. Because that girl is off the chain. She don't play with them kids. Like, she don't play when it comes to her kids. Oh my God. So my thing is, how do we address this? How do we combat this? Do we just keep reading these stories? Because I don't know about y'all, but these stories are like paper cuts. They're like little nicks. And we're just slowly bleeding out. We're just slowly bleeding out. And the sad part about it is, it's like we have more voices that are complacent and aligned with these type of thinking and descriptions and stereotypes of black people than we are those who want to fight against it. Big shout outs to that young brother in Maryland who forced that video to be released. Big shout outs to him, because his thing was, no human being should be talked to like that, let alone a 5-year-old. Let's encapsulate that. Let's think about that. Let's take that sentence. No human being should be talked to that way, right? But more importantly, no 5-year-old child should be talked to that way. And screamed on. That lady got it. That black cop got in that little boy's face, was like, I should beat your ass. Like, that's not your child, man. But because the world does not see value in black people, we don't see value in each other. That's why it was easy for them to mistreat that baby, because they didn't see that baby as a baby. You know what the first thing they should have did when they seen that little boy? They should have picked him up and hugged him and be like, what's wrong, little man? What's wrong? See, we so hard and tough and raw and so ready to be and ready to set it off and turn up that we don't even have the fucking common decency and compassion for our babies. We think showing our babies love is a sign of weakness. Who taught us that? Who taught us that? Who taught us that I'm beating you for your own good? Who taught us that bullshit? The motherfucker who beat us and sent us back out to their goddamn fields to finish picking the fucking cotton that 12-year-olds in fucking Elmwood Park, New Jersey still fucking talking about. So when you think they don't know about slavery, you think they don't know about our contribution to this country, it's a bunch of bullshit. Police officer. The police department was created as a slave catching mechanism. As a mechanism for white people to put black people in their place. We can take it to Color Purple. We can take it to anywhere. We can take it to all the Karens. We got fucking millions of examples of what it is. The police department was created to keep black people in their fucking place. The police department in Chicago, Illinois killed Fred Hampton with the help of a fucking black person who had no fucking compassion, no love for his own people because the piece of shit was riding around, robbing them, breaking into them houses, stealing cars. And when he got caught, instead of the fucking criminal system fucking prosecuting this motherfucker, they further used him in fucking over his people. So these two dumbass police officers who are fucking adults came in, instead of showing that little baby compassionate love, they took their cue from the fucking white administrator and treated that child like shit. And then the scary ass bitch ass mom came in there and just elevated the shit to the next level by letting them pieces of shit put handcuffs on him. Oh, he thought it was okay to put the handcuffs on him, but he didn't think it was okay to put some loving hands on him. It was all right to put them cold ass. I still got scars on my fucking arms from handcuffs from 30 years ago. Still can see the scars. But these cops thought their plan of attack would be to fucking further irritate the child, to further confusing, to further damage his soul, to further make him cry worse than what he was already crying for. Instead of simply picking him up and saying, "What's wrong, little man? Calm down. My name is Officer such and such." Remember Officer Friendly? You know why Officer Friendly ain't around no more? Because they don't want Officer Friendly around no more. They want fucking assholes like the two that showed up. And he put the cuffs on the baby. He put the slave shackles on the baby. I be hearing on Bernard Riley, and big shout outs to him, how the guy, Ike, the African guy, come on, and they always talk about rites of passage. Well, you know what our rites of passage is? Getting fucking handcuffs put on us. Getting the police called on us. That's our rites of passage. By simply living life, we'll know our rites of passage when the fucking cop cars show up. The first time the white person call the cops on you and they show up, that's your fucking rites of passage in America for black people. Going to prison. That's the rite of passage that they've given us. So when we try to indoctrinate ourselves with these other African diaspora and other ethnic groups, forms of civilization and forms of addressing some of the needs within the body of the group, we got to fucking understand we're up against a wall that's not going to allow us to overlay no motherfucking rites of passage. They've stolen that shit from us. They've stolen it. They decide what our rites of passage is now. That 5-year-old boy, that 6-year-old boy, they got their fucking rites of passage when they got the fucking criminal justice system in their face. They are men now to society. That 5-year-old boy is now a fucking man to society because that's how he was treated. That 6-year-old boy who picked that flower, he is a man to society because that's how he was treated. All these leftists want to align with these white women and get down with them and be down with their movement. Fuck them women. Fuck that feminut shit. Because that shit ain't nothing to do but to see who gonna beat us worse. Them or they fucking husbands. Who's gonna mistreat us worse? Who's gonna tell us it's for our own good first? The white man or the white woman? That's our options. That's what they're fighting over. Who's going to put us in our place? Oh, honey, I got it. I'll talk about him on my Zoom. Oh, no, babe, I got it. I'll send my 2 coonest black officers to arrest him. I got it, honey. It ain't no coincidence that nurses and cops and firemen and teachers and all that shit, all them motherfucking white job program motherfuckers, they marry each other. They marry each other so that they can have the conversation about how the fuck to treat us. You heard it with your own ears just now when she told her husband with glee, oh, that bitch think I'm her friend. I got that bitch. I burn that bitch. I burn that bitch. Is it about burning the mom or educating the fucking kid? Her whole priorities was fucked up. She wasn't worried about whether or not the kid got caught up in the class, which he did. She was worried about, oh, that bitch, now she want to call when he fucking up. I burned you, bitch. If you was any teacher worth any of your salt, you'd have been like, you know what? Minus his mom's motherfucking flaws, I'ma still help the kid. But nah, bitch, your beef was with the mom. Cause you white motherfuckers think y'all can tell us what to do like we all fucking kids. We ain't y'all motherfucking kids. And our motherfucking kids ain't y'all kids. Nobody in that situation with that 5-year-old boy said to them 2 cops like, yo, chill, chill, chill. Wait a minute, you're going too fucking far. Why the fuck would he put that kid in the back of that police car? You think you're going to scare him and he going to remember that shit? He already traumatized by whatever the fuck is going on. I mean, he walked away. What is he walking away from? What is he walking away from? Are you trying to figure that out? You think you grown? You think you can make decisions? That's that bullshit our parents said to us. This nigga just played a tape in his head of some shit his mom and dad said to him. That's where we be at with this black folk. We take our trauma and then pour it out on another motherfucker. Especially the babies. We beat them, scream at them. We do all the fuck shit our parents did, not thinking, wait a minute, that shit ain't work when my mom did it and my dad did it. What the fuck am I doing now? Nobody in that office stopped to say, wait a minute, y'all, he 5. None of those people with fucking degrees and had to learn early child development. None of those people who studied in university to get their certificates and their degrees to become teachers and administrators thought to think, yo, chill, relax. He's 5. That's not why I called y'all. Just help me out. Just give me some assistance. But when you call the cops on black people, the shit is not assistance. The shit is a control mechanism. The shit is, get that nigga in his place. He don't know his place. 2021. Let's say it again. Let's say it again. Not 1912, not 1863, not 1901, not 1968, not 1970, 80, 90, 2000, 2021. We're still going through the same shit our parents went through, our grandparents went through, their forefathers went through. We live in a country who killed a 12-year-old black child. We live in a country where white people would make baskets and make watching black people get lynched and hung a family event. Where there were posters put up that they're going to lynch a black man. Wear your best, wear your Sunday best. You would see women out there with dresses on, bonnets, men in suits, women, children, by the thousands with picnic baskets to come and watch most likely a black man or a black boy be hung. This is the nation that we live in. These are the people that we send our kids to school with. These are the police officers that are hired to protect and service. That's what we deal with. That's what we live. That's our legacy. That's this nation's legacy, should I say. Let me correct myself. And when you fast forward in 2021, now they use technology to disseminate their hate. They use the tools that are used to educate our kids to berate them and to talk bad about their parents when the focus should be the child and not the parent. If the parent is lacking, your job as a teacher is to compensate for whatever the parent is not doing. But we all know when it comes to black people, we're held to a different standard. We're put in different boxes. We're not afforded the same opportunities or afforded the same courtesies that other races and ethnicities get. We're seen as the troubled minority, while the Asians and the Mexicans are seen as the docile, domesticated minorities. We are seen as the black sheep of the family, while the rest of the people who come here legally or come here and don't really contribute to the overall Americana, they're seen as the model immigrants. You hear it time and time again. Why aren't you like the Asians? Why aren't you like the Mexicans? Why aren't you like the Jews? We hear it over and over again. And then when you say to them, they haven't been through what we've been through on the shores of people. Oh, yes, they did. Oh, my forefathers was just that. They start coming up with the false equivalencies. And then we need people like Psycho and Renee to come on and do shows where they crush their ass and be like, you're fucking lying. That Irish slave shit is a bunch of bullshit. Your oppression because you're an unemployed piece of shit has nothing to do with black oppression. So our whole existence is blurred. Our whole existence is just some fucked up battle between some masochistic people who are arguing over who's gonna fucking raise the black stepkids. How are we gonna break it to them that we don't really want to deal with them no more? That's what we at. Where we're seeing story after story after story, right? And this was all dear leader Trump. See, this is how Germany fell into what it fell into, because a person like Hitler was allowed to voice his shit, and he touched people who really felt like that, but just wasn't bold enough to say it. So now Trump's presidency gave them that energizer battery in their back. So now we're just seeing it every other day, where it used to be like once a month, you know, we get a story every other. Now it's every day. It's every day, and it's blatant racism. It's not like something they can hide behind or act like that's not what it is. It's blatant racism. It's blatant. I didn't want to do these stories. Like, I hate it because it's like, it's just an attack on black women and children. Like they figured it out. They figured it out. I want to do some research on the dynamic between the natives and the whites and who did the natives attack first, right? Like who, what group did they use to undermine the whole indigenous population? Like what group did they target first? Was it the men? Was it the women? Was it the children? I really want to do some empirical research on that to see how that went. See if it's similar to what they're doing to us. So to all the black men and the Kevin Samuels out there that get on TV every day or get on YouTube every day and talk shit about black women and tell them that they're not valuable and tell them if they got kids and they somebody's baby mama or somebody's baby daddy that they not worth it and they value on the marketing, this, that, and the third. Like, stop listening to the motherfuckers. Stop allowing white society to distract us by dickheads like that who's trying to tell us who we are. That motherfucker don't give a fuck about us. He's not trying to elevate black people. He's trying to get the bag. And he wants people like him who don't give a fuck about black people to follow along and get the bag. I know I'm a little YouTuber. He don't give a fuck about me. I don't give a fuck about him. I didn't like him. The time Max invited me to be around him, I was like, I don't do that kind of shit. And, you know, I used to argue with them niggas all the time anyway, so it didn't even matter to me. And now that I've been here a little while, I understand what their beef was. But I'm still here, gentlemen, and you're more than welcome to show up. Still here. And now I got my own shit. You're more than welcome to show up. The last little thing I want to cover before I roll out, and I'm not going to take too much time on this, is the little Nas X shit. And this is for me, this is a cautionary tale of the only reason people got a problem with what the fuck little Nas did, right? It's because you don't usually see black Satanists or black devil worshipers, right? So it's easy to come at him. Like, it's easy. Now, and let me put this in context so you can understand what I'm saying. No one ever really gave two shits about Marilyn Manson and his shit. It made him famous, right? Marilyn Manson's gothic, demonic ilk is what made him famous, right? So now you have a black young man, right? Like trying to get into the hockey league. Like Nas X is really like trying to become a black Satanist, right? Like he's trying to break into an environment that don't really have any black. Like he's trying to be the first Marilyn Manson, right? Through hip hop, right? His team, his management team, his promotions team, his PR team, they put this together. This is the lane they want to go in to get the bag. And black people like, wait a minute, oh, wait. Wait, blood, poison, Satan. And all that shit got to do is just black people and they churchy shit, right? Like, oh Lord, help my baby. He going to the devil. Oh. That's all it is. I mean, he sold out. He's a grown-up man. Like, what the fuck can we do? We shouldn't have an argument to say whether or not he's promoting homosexuality in our community, blah, 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 blah. That boat's been sailed. That boat been off the dock for a minute. That matter of fact, that boat is kind of stuck like that big ass boat that was stuck in the Suez Canal. BLM got that boat stuck right now. These motherfuckers made a Black Lives Matter mission statement and started talking about families and shit. Talking about families, the identities of families and shit. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Right? It has nothing to do with nothing. So I don't know Little Nas X. I know my son liked the little Old Town song is because it was catchy and their teachers used to play it in the class because it was, you know how they do. It's rap. Black kids will like it. Remember that? Remember the cereal commercial? Give it to Mikey, he'll eat it. That's how society sees us. They see us as Mikey. Give it to the black people, they'll eat it. Give them Popeye's chicken. Now give them McDonald's chicken. See, McDonald's thought that the lines Popeyes had was about to show up at their spot. Y'all remember that Life commercial, Life cereal? Give it to Mikey. He'll eat it. See, but I just want Lil Nas X to do one thing. Just one thing. I just want you to do one thing, young man. Pay attention to Kanye West and see where that shit gonna get you. So if you want to know who you gonna be in 20 years, Lil Nas X, just look at Kanye West. That's who you'll be. You'll probably be divorced from a gay white man going through it. And then he's gonna take all your money, say you were a terrible person, and da 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 da. Right? Y'all ever notice like the black gay celebrities always go get like a white man? They don't go get they go get a white man. Because that's what they wanted. That's what they want to be. So if you want to be something, you got to go get what you want to be. Like all this shit is just like a confluence of distractions, a confluence of he does not, Little Nas X doesn't want to be black, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't. He doesn't want to be black. That's why he sings country rap and wear the weirdo shit that he wear and devil worship. And he know that shit ain't that shit's nowhere around our community. Now you may get some black people who grew up in white communities and went to white schools all their life and all that, and this is how they felt to be to fit in. You have that. You have that. But he doesn't want to be black. And these parents that you see move to these black communities, they're trying to move away from their blackness. The other, not Billy Porter, Don Lemon, Lee Daniels, the list goes on and on. They don't. So we're in this confluence thing where black people who don't want to be black go to environments that don't want black people. And then the black people who don't want to be black think when they get into this environment that if they act like they're not black, see color, and just be neutral, that they won't alarm, they won't alert nobody. Right? They'll be heard but seen but not heard, right? Or heard but not seen. Not realizing you can't take that shit off. Just because you move to a zip code that don't have a lot of black people don't mean that moving there changed you. It didn't. So you have a group of black people who don't want to be black moving and going in environments where people don't want them, i.e. the manosphere, the black manosphere. Peace, Nikki, what's going on, sis? Right? They were part of the manosphere. And what happened? They got kicked out. They got kicked out. And even in getting kicked out, they still adhere to the message that they got when they was over there. You never hear him talk about the white dudes who kicked them out. But you hear about Pookie and Ray Rays. You hear about black female fuckery. But you never hear about the white men who kicked the brothers out of the black manosphere. Because the brothers thought if I go to the white manosphere, I ain't got to hold on to this black shit. I ain't got to be black. I could be conservative. I could flip it and bounce it. It ain't got to be about race. It's about what you do, what you produce, your accountability, taxes, blah, 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 blah. Begging them, Taz. Begging them to get back in. Think about that. You're begging people who told you we don't fuck with y'all. We don't want you here. We kicked you. Why would we bring you back? See, and that's what I don't understand. But see, this is why the people who do what they do to our babies do it, because they realize, man, it's just as many as them that feel a way about them as we do. So fuck it. It goes to that Chicago crime. It goes to that, well, y'all use it. Y'all call each other that. It's that same tired, lazy ass comeback. Sad and pathetic, bro. So, yo, if you can, man, like, show black kids some love, man. Speak to them. One thing, everybody who always work with me and everybody who around me, the one thing they always say to me is like, man, you love the kids, man. Like, you speak to them. Because most people don't speak to kids. Most black people let them walk by, don't say nothing. I always show them love. I always show that they got value. Because they matter too, y'all. And we can't let society tell us that they don't matter. We can't let society throw them away. We can't throw them away. We talk about cancel culture. We done canceled young black people a long time ago. If y'all go on TikTok, man, and y'all read them hood stories about them gang, the Quando Rondo and the NBA young boy beefing up, man, if y'all read that shit, man, that shit will break your heart. To watch all these 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old soon to be millionaires, because these young boys is killing them off that shit. Them streams, they YouTube videos, they killing them millions. $200,000-$400,000 worth of jewelry on their brand new cars, and they killing each other. And the white man just keep feeding it to them. Keep going, keep doing it. So guess what the world see him as? A bunch of killers. So all young boys, NBA young boy age, or Quando Rondo's age, or King Von's age, are seen as Quando Rondo, King Von, NBA young boys, whether they at Harvard, Yale, Brown, Howard, Morehouse, Purdue, wherever, PWIs, HBCUs, wherever. See, it's got to be a breach, y'all. We got to breach this shit. We got to take our culture back, i.e. the hip hop, the music, the movies, everything. We got to be bold enough to say, yo, Vlad, get the fuck out of here. Yo, Rosenberg, get the fuck out of here. Sean King, get the fuck out of here. DJ Khaled, get the fuck out of here. All you labels that allow these young boys to make this killer ass music, and when you see them catching charges and shit, instead of y'all fucking saying, listen, man, you fucking up the church's money, man. But no, you know, because if they locked up, you still gonna get paid off that shit, and they ain't gonna get a fucking penny. We've got to become the breach, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to become the pushback on these too pressing. We got to come in and we got to be that breach and push back. We can't let the fucking trash compactor squeeze us and shit and put us in little boxes and then wrap wires around us and then ship us the fuck off. We can't do that. Because it's going to be detrimental to our babies, and then we're just going to have a generation of angry, mad young people like we have now. Who be on social media crying for help. They can't even, these guys can't even put a coherent sentence together. Imagine if they could put a coherent sentence together. Imagine if they can articulate how they felt. And they just didn't have to do it through rhymes and killing and trauma and abuse. Imagine if they could sit their trauma down for 2 minutes and just say, hey, I'm hurting. My mom wasn't shit. My dad wasn't shit. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I don't know how to be what I want to be. I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want to murder anybody. What the fuck? I want to be rich. I like this gold. I like these women I'm getting. I like this shit. But I gotta live up to this image because this label keep telling me I gotta beef with somebody to sell records. They don't want to do that shit, y'all. But they don't know no different. They don't know no different. And that shit's gotta change. Or we're fucked. Like, yo, I definitely want my show to be funny, to be informative, to be uplifting, motivating, right? But god damn, I don't want to stop doing stories like this, and I don't want to make y'all sad every day and, you know, bring this traumatic shit every day. But god damn. We fucked if we don't do something about this shit. We can't be, if motherfuckers is adults and they're doing fuck shit, let them be. Let them fix that shit. The focus should be on the babies. The world should be worried about whether or not this young 5-year-old is going to be better, or the 6-year-old, or the 12-year-old, or the other black kids that I talked about. Not whether or not Derek Jackson is going to lose numbers. Because if you're worried about that, then that's telling me that's what you want to do. I want my shit to pop. I want 1,000 people in this motherfucker kicking it with me, 100 people. I want to be monetized, but I'm not going to change who I am to do any of it. So if it take me 10 years to be monetized from talking like this, then so be it. So, yo, I'm going to go ahead and end it on that note, man. This has been a nice build, man. I appreciate everybody that came through. My man Taz, the GOAT, the GOAT. Yo, Taz, man, we got to do an interview, man. We got to do an interview, bro. I got to have you on here. I got to get my man Psycho first. Now I got my equipment and shit working right. I'm going to get back on schedule. My fucking season is coming, so I'm going to deal with that. But I got to get you on the interview, man. I really want to talk to you, man, and really, you know, let people hear you articulate who you are, man. And it's not in a combative way where you got to, you know, shoot down some of the people that we're talking about now, but just a more, you know, two brothers with a similar story. You know what I mean? Just chopping it up, man, and talking about being fathers, being content creators, being, you know, men who are trying to take second chances in life. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to kick it with you about that, man. So if you're available in the near future, man, let me know. I usually do my interviews on Thursdays, man. So if you could just give me a Thursday, couple minutes, man, you know what I mean? We could just chop it up, bro. I would really appreciate that. So, yo, big shout outs to my girl, Nikki A. Penny Sparks in the building. My girl, Sweet Pea Diabetes, Triple OG, my man Quasi, you know what I mean? My man Psycho, yo Psycho, what's the deal, baby? We definitely got to do more panels, Psycho, man. We definitely got to do more panels on Real Talk, Real Talk. My man Tim Harvey for coming through earlier today. All my people, man. Y'all know y'all my peoples, man. Y'all know I fucks with y'all, man, because y'all fucks with me, man. And this was a really good build, man. I hope I wasn't too, you know, over the top, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a racist or anything like that, but I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? And I see the real. I see the real that's going on in our world, man. So, yo, again, Mr. Rudd, Ms. FedEx, Taz, Lamont Ellis, thanks for the subscription. I mean, for the subscribe. And you showing up. My big bro, Joe Dub. My man, big shout out to my man, what's his name? My bad. My man, Tim Harvey. Big shout out to you, bro, for coming through. I'm trying to scroll through this to give everybody a shout out. You know what I mean? Much respect and recognition, because I like to recognize those who recognize me. So, yo, y'all know y'all man AC need y'all to do those 3 magical things, man. I need y'all to love yourselves, but I'm adding an amendment today. I need y'all to love yourselves, hug a young child, love everybody around you, and number 3, be safe. This your man AC Star. I'm out. Peace.